Bring it! Seriously, Drama Queen? That's how you're going to start the episode?
None of them responded to my YouTube challenge.
Knock it off, you got a show to do. Okay, I can move on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Zombie Apocalypse Survival Tips. This is the show where we go over the various tips, tricks, and techniques that you can use to survive longer during a zombie outbreak. Today's episode, because no one accepted my YouTube challenge, I decided I would talk about stuff involving psychology. Last episode I talked about the fact that you need to travel in groups. One of the reasons why it's good to travel in groups is because you can keep an eye on each other's psychological situations. Always try to deal with your sadness. Don't let it get into full-blown depression. Because believe it or not, depression is going to be the #1 killer during a zombie outbreak. Don't get me wrong, that's next to zombies actually eating people, but after the main chaos has been passed, depression really is going to be the #1 killer. If you travel in groups, there's different things that you can do to help maintain morale, keep people's spirits uplifted, because when you get depressed, that's when you start asking the question, what's the point? And that's what usually leads to people killing themselves. Always have something worth living for. That keeps you going. And don't ever get to the point where you're saying, what's the point? That's bad. Now some of you are asking, well, what are some things that you can do to up morale? Well, that's easy. There's a whole list of things you can do. To give you a couple of ideas, some things you can do include, if you are traveling with children, like if you're a parent and you have your kids with you, go into a place that you might be able to find board games, because believe it or not, board games are not exactly going to be knocked off the shelves quick during a zombie outbreak because people don't care. Go into a place where you can find a board game. Find a nice secluded area that you can secure fairly easily, that you don't have to worry about getting attacked while you're there. Sit down and just play a video game for a little bit. It cheers everybody up, and when kids start making up rules, let them. If it makes them happy, let them do it. Another big thing that can help is if you're traveling in a group and you realize there's somebody in the group you like, or if you start to notice that there are people you're traveling with who it looks like they may have a thing for each other, remember this. This is a zombie outbreak. Everybody's dying right and left. You don't exactly have a lot of time to live. Have a wedding. Weddings bring everybody's spirits up, and it brings two people together, so it's a really big deal, especially when everyone has low morale. Have a wedding. It's a wonderful thing to do. If you see two people who like each other, have someone just pretend to be a priest, whatever your belief system is, find someone to conduct it, because remember, you don't have to stand on legalization, because this is a zombie outbreak. Everybody's dead. Who cares if it's legal or not? Just have a wedding, bring the two people together, and have a celebration. It's huge for morale. Now remember, try to keep it down a little bit, because zombies there's a potential they may still be able to hear. So, within reason. Don't limit yourself. There are a lot of things you can do. I mean, if you find a place that has the potential for running water and a heater on site, have everybody take showers. You would not imagine how much just taking a relaxing shower can help people. Anything you can do to forget about what's going on and to relieve the tension is something good. Try to maintain your morale. Keep everyone's spirits up. That is the easiest way to survive through a zombie outbreak. Quick rule, the one thing you never want to do is use the situation as its own release. The zombies are what's causing your depression, and the last thing you want to do is use the very thing that's causing your depression to be your release from the depression, because you're still focusing on the situation. If you use the zombies as the release from the zombie situation, all you're doing, yes, you may be fighting the depression, but you are leading yourself down a path to a whole nother mental problem. Insanity. Don't desensitize yourself to the situation. That just causes irreparable mental problems, including insanity and other forms of derangement. So don't use the zombies as the release from the zombie outbreak. Basically what I'm saying is don't go on a hunting spree using shooting zombies in the head as a way of releasing from the tension. That is very bad. Fight the zombies as a means of survival, not as a means of stress relief. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's episode, and so as to recap, this episode has basically been about maintain your morale, and that's one of the big reasons why you want to travel in groups, is so you can keep track of each other's mental state and help maintain each other's morale. I gave you a few ideas, but the sky's the limit. Anything you can do as a stress reliever is something good. But like I said, don't use zombies as their own stress relief. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's episode. As usual, I'm your host, Shuler, and this has been the Zombie Apocalypse Survival Tips. Always remember, have a goal, have a plan, and have a way out in case things go wrong. I'll see you later. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stephen Shuler and welcome to another one of my video blogs. Today I decided I'd be a little bit lazy and do a little selfie blog when I start talking about this stuff. In the films, Peter Jackson makes every one of these dwarves a character, even adds little side stories for each one of these characters to increase their personality.